Welcome to the Freedom Property Podcast, the modern real estate brand empowering excellence. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the studio. It's the Freedom Property Podcast show, and today we have got the man himself, Mr. Ruan Burger from Success and Broker.
Thank you so much for having me, buddy.
Absolutely. What is Success and Broker?
So, being a broker and working as a broker with real estate has been one of my highlights. And when we sold our last company, the opportunity presented itself for me to start coaching brokers and broker companies. And that would be, by October this year, would be 3 years. Yep. And it has been a journey. It has been a lot of fun. So it is very much helping brokers not just understand lead flow, but also comprehend cash flow. Because at the end of the day, it's all good that you want to get out there and take over the world, but you need to understand the money it costs. The money needs to be invested to make it a successful transition and become, that trusted advisor to your clients.
Nice. So you're full-time coaching now then?
Yes, very much so. And I'm fortunate enough to also do what I love, which is work still very close with real estates in respect of helping with that transition process between real estate and broker, as well as with accountants and financial planners. So it's almost for me that I'm just concentrating currently on the root cause. Lead flow is cash flow. So if I can help any one broker to get more leads, the chances are the money looks after itself.
Nice. So how does a broker get leads?
So from my point of view, most brokers will always say, I get leads from my database. The issue with a database is half the time it's not well prospected. It is hoping it comes in, it's quite reactive. And then if you think about us in real estate, which for me it's a match made in heaven, because it really amplifies the Australian dream, which is having a roof over your head. So real estate is going to have more conversations non-stop. And if any broker can become part of their supporters network, so be there, show up, be a value to not just the agent, but to the seller and the buyer through the process, it's a lady there.
Yeah, so you're big on your relationships, aren't you?
100%. And the only reason for it is because we don't sell processes. Even if you think about real estate agents, for me over the years, the good real estate agents are very well aware that the house will sell itself, that they are there, want to negotiate, and to become, if you like, so to speak, they just the person that keeps it together, making sure the seller and the buyer both feel like it was fair and then it was value both ways. The broker at the end of the day can support that behaviors.
Okay. So obviously a lot of agents watching this show, why should they be linking up with a broker?
Because if you're not linked up with a broker and that prospective seller walks somewhere else, that real estate agent will send it to their broker. So you need to try and control. It's like layers to an onion. Imagine to be in a position to say, I'm not just there to sell your house. I'm there to support the process of selling your house. And through that support, I've got a supporters network. I've got a solicitor that I truly rate. I've got a building and pest person. I've got a mortgage broker. I've got all these people that assess you through the process to ensure that it is as seamless as possible, that it is conveniently placed as possible. And then for you, it's not about just getting the outcome. It's about having a good experience.
Okay.
And I think agents look a lot at these things sometimes quite transactional, when the reality of it is by having a broker on your side, it becomes more of a relationship. And it's a value proposition. Imagine, Josh, and you and I come a long way. Imagine the sale has gone through. What happens after that from an agent's point of view? If you had that broker that is following up every 6 or 12 months with that seller or that buyer that is your tomorrow seller, you almost have another person protecting your own back book.
Yeah,
it's just a lady there again. It is just too good not to have.
Okay. So you as a broker, you wouldn't just work with buyers. You would want to work with everyone in the agency.
100%. And again, if you think about it, the first port of call for you is a seller.
Yep.
I mean, your business philosophy is built on prospect less sell. And I know too many agents that don't like prospecting. Now imagine if the broker becomes part of your prospecting team.
Yep.
Because you've given me a name and a number, I've spoken to them. Next moment, I realize I have a property to sell. I get you back in to do a CMA to see if you can list the property. It's just like an infinity wheel, if you think about it. Now, your seller, as you know, will have a loan that they need to pay out. So to pay out that loan, they need to discharge that property. Now, that's one problem. The next one is where they used another property. So now there's a partial release. All of these things take time. And the worst part is no one guides the seller. So imagine you have this broker that does that part for you already. It's almost like you're just controlling the inevitable, the flow.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I say to my sellers when I'm sitting with them at a listing presentation that the first thing we need to do is make sure that the preparation is perfect.
100%.
You know, and a part of that preparation is maybe getting the stylist out, is maybe doing a building and pest,
Voila.
and the other major part is getting the broker in.
And it's not having even to sell us for finance. It's about us supporting you in respect of a process that have to happen.
Yep.
As part of you selling that property, it's got to be released.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the agents that are out there right now, like, what are you seeing? Like, what are the most successful agents doing with their brokers? Like, how are they linking up? Like, what's working?
I think they make them part of a process. They're part of a journey per se. And the reason for it is because it's hard for the agent to be judge and juror, figuring out who really needs finance. I mean, it's almost like going to Coles. You go to Coles and you walk through the aisle not knowing where you're going, and a Coles employee stops and says, "Hey, can I help you?" And you go, No, I'm okay. And it takes you 30 minutes to get to where you wanted to get. So for the first time, we say, well, park yourself at the front of Coles and say, "Hey, listen, are you going in just for one or two items?" "No, I'm going in, I just want to get one thing." "Well, if you tell me where it is, I'll tell you what aisle it is." So we're just directing traffic better, per se.
Yeah.
And these guys direct traffic.
Yes.
I believe they make the broker so part of their proposal, not just because they want the broker to assist them in things, but they also know that this network protects. If you want, it's almost like barbed wiring your experience.
Yeah.
By making sure broker spoke to the client says, "I don't really think I want to sell." Broker do a full assessment and go, "Well, if you really want that property, you have to."
Yeah.
Person phones you back and go, "Listen, I need to sell my property before I can buy." Broker then goes, "Well, you don't really have to sell your property before you buy. There's a thing called home to home loan, so no in-debt bridging or one of these particular things we can assist you with." So it's almost like not always helping someone with finance, but restructuring their thought process to understand how much quicker they can get finance.
Yeah, yeah. You're really good at building relationships like quickly. You know, that's something that when you entered our lives years back, you built a relationship with my offers very, very quickly. We can sell that story because I remember when I first met you, and we had your broker UL at the time, a friend in common, and he was like, "We're bringing Ruan in," and I was like, "Oh, the big dog's coming in. Here we go." But you came in, and we had an office of, I think there was 5 or 6 of us guys at the time, and you were like, "Okay, we got 6 guys here in their 20s. I'm going to look after these guys." And you did things for us that made us be like, this guy really cares about us. So you cemented this relationship with us really quickly. And for me, when I used to think of you, like when I used to be with buyers or when I used to be with my potential seller, I would sit with them and I would want you to be a part of their lives because I knew what you did for the relationship for us. So I was like, you're going to do that relationship for them. That's going to make them feel really good, which is going to make me look better too.
Yeah.
So, that's just some feedback for you there.
Oh, thank you, sir. And it was funny because even early days, it became very clear to me that we're not selling an outcome, we're selling an experience. I mean, think about it. I could help someone with finance, and it's the crappiest of processes. And I get the finance approved, but it was such a bad experience. So we're very clear on the experience. So having that opportunity early days to come into your business, we know sometimes we go in and we've got one chance. We've got one moment to shine and make the best of it. However, if I can try and almost work out in my head whether there was an opportunity to connect with you guys, then I know there's an opportunity to build a relationship.
Yeah.
We had a lot in common too, and that's one thing I've always said to agents: make sure whoever you're going to refer to, you would do business with them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do business with them, the chances are you're not going to sell them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to refer them. Sell their services. What is it that they have that is worth the client's time?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Yeah, the we can get caught up in real estate, like with the systems, with the processes, with like having all the lingo and all that sort of stuff. But like actually caring about your customer or understanding your customer and maybe what they need. And a lot of the time, the brokers are there to hold their hand, aren't they?
And it's funny you say that, because I used to look at agents and go, you talk to an agent and they go, when I go into the listing presentation, I just want a particular form signed because then I know. And I never understood it. It's almost like going into a mortgage broking appointment with a client and say, I just want the loan, when the reality of it is, I don't even yet know if they're ready. I first have to establish, is this person ready? Is my service proposition of value to them now, or is it going to be of value to them later? So for me, I used to say to real estates, especially the younger ones coming through the ranks, you need to, there's an old proverb saying, seek to understand before you want to be understood. You almost got to spend a little time just to understand, firstly, why do you want to sell? What is the reason for selling, so that they can just see, okay, this guy didn't come in today to list my property. This guy came today to give me value, to make my life easier, or at least give me the ability to understand better, because you sell a property every day.
Yeah.
These people sell a property maybe once every 3-4 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This podcast show is all about you, agents. It's all about giving you the tips, the tricks, the strategies to take your business and your life to the next level. I'm very passionate about helping real estate agents, and the more people that subscribe and like this show, the better guests we can get on and the more value we can bring to you. So follow us, give us a like, and tell your friends. Look forward to working with you.
Yeah, like the listing presentation is the most important part in our business. I feel like sitting in front of a client and explaining to them, how you can help them and why you can help them. And, like understanding their future and what they're actually trying to achieve. Because sometimes I go to people's houses and I'm like, you don't really need to sell this. Are you sure you want to sell? Like, and sort of play, the reverse angle there. But yeah, I think when people really know how much you care, that's when this all starts happening for you.
100% agree. And I think what we've got to understand with people too, whether it's the broker speaking or the agent speaking, people are sometimes scared.
Yeah.
Because this is quite overwhelming. Am I making a mistake? And so for me, even if you think of finance, when we talk to clients, a client may come into us and go, I just want the lowest rate. And you go, well, the lowest rate, or do you want to pay your home loan off quicker? Sorry, I want to pay my home loan off quicker. Well, that's not always the lowest rate.
Yes.
So suddenly we've just got them to a point where they go, okay, I don't know that. Yeah. And I think this is what I love about real estate and broking.
Yeah.
We are so cahoots.
Yeah.
We are so on the same play of influencing people's lives. And I think it's almost more important for me to create a legacy of how people look at us. There's an old saying, reputation is what people think of you, character is who you are. And I think as a broker and as an agent, we've got the opportunity to really finesse our character play in respect of who are we, what is it that I have to offer, why is it of value to you. We just sometimes, I think, get rushed a little bit and forget that play.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you were starting in real estate tomorrow, say you become an agent, like, you probably do it very similar to how you're doing the broking.
100% connection before relationship. But also paying attention to the group you are in. Like, imagine one of your young agents. I've been privy to see some of them grow to become exceptional agents, but they show the hunger. I do think if you do these things and you start out, you've got to be honest with yourself. How hungry are you? Because you're going to have a few opportunities and they may not come your way. I think if I can give a young agent a tip today, it's don't worry about the experience. If you're old enough, you're good enough. But more to the point, you still need to be able to sell experience. And if you don't have it, figure out a way of selling it. And my tip to you today is talk about the experience someone is going to have dealing with you versus the experience that you don't have.
Nice. Yeah, and this is all this game is. It really is. It's just your relationships. It's just, being a hard worker. And if you market yourself well on top of that and you've got good systems and processes behind you, it's all going to work out.
And I'll give one more thing just before we conclude, which for me stands out too. I've spoken to a few agents and I've asked the question, what could you do better so far? And they go, I don't know, there's a few things I can do better. I said, yeah, but if you have to pinpoint, what can you do better? I don't know. I said, so what this tells me today, is you don't ask anyone after the transaction, what could I have done better? Because if you did, you become very clear on the very things that you should finesse again, the things you should sharpen again, the things you should adjust, so to speak, because client feedback is the perfect process. Always have been and always will be.
That's awesome. So you're obviously working with a lot of brokers.
I do, and now a few agents starting to pop up, which just purely because of this connection piece that I have between broker and agent.
Yeah.
And they're starting to ask a few questions, which I'm enjoying because I love property.
Yeah, well, I think agents should link up with you and talk to you because you can offer a wealth of knowledge, and that's for their sales business. But you could also put them in touch with a lot of good people that could help them as well, depending on where they are.
100%. And the reality of it is, sometimes this can feel like a bit of a lonely game, and it's no different than broking. But there's good people around you. The question just is, are you putting your hand out?
Nice. Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruan Burger from Success and Broker. Thanks so much for coming in, brother. Appreciate it.